What does it take for a watch brand to go from a small workshop to timing the Olympic Games and becoming the first watch on the moon? Today, we're looking at the story of Omega, a brand that spent more than 175 years building a reputation through precision, innovation, and some of the most important moments in modern history. It all started in 1848, when a young watchmaker named Louis Brandt opened a small workshop in Switzerland. At first, he assembled watches by hand, using parts made by local craftsmen. Every piece had to be carefully adjusted, assembled, and tested manually. Even in those early days, the company was already becoming known for precision. Back then, Switzerland was quickly becoming the centre of watchmaking, and competition was intense. But the Brandt family understood something important very early on. A watch wasn't just jewellery, it was a tool. And if people were going to trust it every day, it had to be accurate. After Louis Brandt passed away, his sons took over the business and moved operations to a larger factory in Biel. That move completely changed the future of the company. Production became more organised, efficient, and easier to scale. But the company wanted more than growth. It wanted innovation. In 1892, working together with Audemars Piguet, they helped create one of the first wristwatches ever with a minute repeater. A minute repeater is a complex mechanism that can chime the time using tiny hammers inside the watch. At the time, most serious watchmaking was still focused on pocket watches, so creating something this advanced for the wrist was an incredible technical achievement. It showed the company wasn't just following trends, it was helping shape the future of watchmaking. Then came one of the biggest moments in the company's history. In 1894, they introduced a new movement called Omega. It was more precise, easier to service, and built using interchangeable parts. Today that sounds normal, but in the late 1800s it was revolutionary. The movement became such a success that the company eventually renamed itself after it. And from that moment on, Omega was officially born. As the years passed, Omega built a strong reputation for accuracy. The brand entered observatory trials, where watches competed in precision tests against other manufacturers. Omega performed extremely well, helping the company gain international recognition. That growing reputation eventually led to a major milestone. In 1932, Omega became the official timekeeper of the Olympic Games. For the first time, one company was responsible for timing every Olympic event. And in sports, fractions of a second can change everything. Winning, losing, world records. Omega proved its watches could perform under real pressure. But while the Olympics built Omega's reputation on Earth, space would make the brand legendary. In the 1960s, NASA tested several watches for space missions. The watches faced extreme temperatures, shocks, vibrations and pressure. Only one passed every test, the Omega Speedmaster. Then, in 1969, during the Apollo 11 moon landing, the Speedmaster became the first watch worn on the moon. And from that moment on, it earned the nickname the Moon Watch. Omega's connection to space didn't end there. During the Apollo 13 mission, astronauts used the Speedmaster to help time a critical engine burn after an onboard explosion damaged the spacecraft. That timing helped the crew safely return to Earth. Because of that mission, Omega later received NASA's Silver Snoopy Award. By this point, Omega had already secured its place in history, but the company continued expanding. The Omega Seamaster became known for durability and water resistance, later gaining popularity through James Bond films. The Omega Constellation focused on elegance and precision, and the Omega DeVille offered a cleaner, refined style. Omega also continued innovating. One of its biggest modern achievements is the coaxial escapement. Originally developed by George Daniels, the system reduces friction inside the movement, improving durability and long-term accuracy. Omega also became a leader in anti-magnetic watch technology. Today, Omega represents far more than luxury. It represents precision, innovation, and real-world achievement. From mechanical breakthroughs to Olympic timekeeping to space exploration, Omega built its reputation by proving itself again and again. So now I'm curious, what's your favourite Omega model? And which watch brand should I cover next?